welcome again to this channel. We are very happy to be able to share information with you. In this channel here, we have given ourselves the task of informing you and exchanging ideas with you, all in the aim of helping our great continent. The African continent has for many, many years has been looked down upon. And many have come here and divided Africa, and they plundered our nations. You can see throughout history imaginable things that have happened, atrocities that have basically have taken place in Africa. Sometimes you look back in history, you wonder and you say, how can a nation or a continent be subjugated to this level? How can atrocities such as this go unnoticed? How can such things happen to people? What have we done? Why do we suffer like this? Do we deserve this? Is this the right way? Is this the right approach? Is this the way to do things? But I'm here just want to say to you that no, time has come. We must say no to certain things. Ourselves in. But after being out for so many years, I know you will still yearn, you will still want to be back. Wherever it is your motherland is, you will want to go, because then when you are there, your feet touch your soil, you will feel something different. In spite of the luxury, in spite of the security that you may be fostering, that you may have experienced elsewhere, I tell you what, home is home. And this is the reason why I said we dedicate this channel to talking about things that will help us as Africans in order to rise, in order to do what we can do to keep ourselves economically and provide for our own people and bring some sense of pride to ourselves, so we don't go around begging nations to come and help us, stretching our hand. You've seen what's happened in the past, and it's still happening to some degree today. Yes, you have this nation speaking about, summit, Russia, Africa, summit, France, Africa, summit, UK, Africa, summit, US, Africa. I mean, what is this? Why are they not coming to Africa? Why are we all the ones that are going to leave our motherland and then be going, they're calling us. It's like you're being summoned. Africa, you're being summoned to the US. Africa, you're being summoned to France. Africa, you're being summoned to the UK. Africa, you're being summoned to Russia. Africa, you're being summoned to India. My goodness. Can you imagine what is happening? Why are we being summoned? Why are we going all these different places? And you see all our leaders, queuing up to get on the bus so they can go to, oh my gosh, the kind of treatment that they receive as well. The way they treat them, you look and you say, come on, some dignity. Where is your dignity? They treat them like little boys that they are basically sending out on a shopping trip or something like that. It's just, there is no respect, there is no dignity the way they treat African leaders. And I hate it, put it that way. They shouldn't. And the only reason why we have come to that place and that is happening is because we are always stretching our hands and begging for crumbs. Look, these nations that are calling all this summit, they come to Africa, they plunder, they take our goods, they take our natural stuff, and then they go and basically work on it, and then they become richer. You can't blame them. Understanding that, you have to understand, I'm not blaming them, because this is what nations do. This is what nations do. They will want to take care of their own people. So therefore they'll come wherever the door is open for them. They will come in. If they're going to steal, they will steal. If they're going to kill, they're going to kill. If we let them, they will continue to do this. It will never change. That's the reason why they don't like to see strong African countries. They don't want to see the continent rise again. They will keep conflict coming. They will keep conflict. They will keep group of militia here, and then they will cause wars because so they can sell their armament, so they can basically profit from what is happening. They are the profiteers of all the conflict that is happening in Africa. See, this is one of the reasons why I keep saying we need to wake up. We need to understand. Look the way that they treat Africans when they go to these countries. It seems like they don't want Africans anymore in these countries. They don't want Africans to go to the Western world anymore because they don't need that labor anymore. There is cheap labor that has come from the Eastern European countries that have invaded the market in Europe. And so they don't want Africans. They will do anything to stop an African. You go and ask for a visa. even if you've got some money, even if you're wealthy here, but to get a visa to travel to France, to travel to Belgium, or any country, you will see how people are queuing up, and then you have to wait for months to get a visa. And even some people, in spite of showing everything they have, they're being turned down just for a visa. I look at the queues and people outside the embassies, and I look at how people are queuing up, and many of them have to wait for months. And they're looking at you and they're thinking, no, we don't want you in our country. Yet they want to come, they want to take what we have, but they don't want us in their countries. And you must understand this. Unfortunately, I look at what happens, or what is happening, and I'm saying to myself, unless we wake up, we begin to realize and smell the coffee, and we begin to say to ourselves, look, we must do whatever we can in order to build our nations. We must take pride in ourselves. We must produce. We must produce in our own country. We must feed our own people. We must give jobs to our own people. We must be able to have companies. We must be able to bring up our own economy. If we don't do this, people are always going to strive to go outside of the country. And even if they don't want them there, people will still go. You go to countries around the world, go to France, you know the amount of suffering, the amount of, if you like, energy, the amount people will go to no end of trouble just so they can leave countries like the DRC, countries in Africa. Not long ago, I've seen 2 Nigerians who have done basically 14 days at sea, right, just holding on outside of a boat on the little rudder just so that they can get to a European nation. But they wind themselves up in Brazil after 14 days. But this is just the 2 of them. But I was just watching and I say, what kind of energy and courage? And this tells you that people have the willingness. People are ready to sacrifice their lives so they can get to a destination, so they can get to a Western world, so they can improve their lives. You can't blame them. No one can blame them. But all I'm thinking about, if that energy was fuel towards actually making things work in our nations, it will be such an amazing situation that we will be in. But unfortunately, like I said, because of what we have currently, people are just wanting to live. But when you go to these countries, you see the kind of treatment that people receive. People don't know. Yes, you watch these things on TV. You see how they lure people to believe that all is well in France, all is well in Europe, all is well in Western countries. But it's not, all is not well there. There is suffering there. There is pain there. There is all sort of things. But yet, people are still happy to be in prison, but prison in France, not in the DRC, not in the Democratic Republic of Congo. People want to be in prison in the US, but not in the DRC. But at least there they get some kind of food. They can eat. They can go out. They can do a few things. I mean, not go out from prison, but in there, they rather sit there and just eat. They rather sit there, just in their psychic, in their mind, they know that, oh, I'm in the prison in the US. Oh, I'm in the prison in France. That at least makes them feel good. They know I have touched the soil, I'm here in France, and all is well. But let me tell you, all is not well. There are people who are in France who have been there, and sometimes they wish they said, this is not what I thought of France. I wish I was in my country. I wish I could do something better. I wish. But then you are already, maybe you could have lost your life just to get there, but just to get there to find out that all you have access to, unfortunately, food has become a problem. Having a place to sleep is a problem. But when people get there, they find all this kind of everyday stuff. They have easy access to them. They find this is heaven. Unfortunately, people think this is heaven, but it's not supposed to be that way. Immigrants are not welcome. Immigrants rather are not welcome in these countries. And we must wake up. We must understand that you are not welcome. We are not welcome in these countries. But we must work very hard. We must understand this, put this in the hearts of our people. Right here, some of us who have been in diaspora, some of us who have lived there, when you talk like this, people say, oh, come on, you're lying to us. You've been living there and you can go and you can do this, and now you're trying to say this so you can stop me from going there. Now, you know, you cannot stop I cannot stop you from going. It's a good thing. Go out, explore the world. Go and fulfill your desire. You know, see how different people think, how they do things, how business flourishes. And see the part of the world. I mean, no one owns the world. You have access to it. Go. But the only thing that I'm saying is you must be prepared as you're planning to go. Understand that that is not heaven. Understand that that is not heaven. It's not the first heaven. It's not even the second heaven. You must understand that it is just here on earth. It is just here on earth. And the difficulties and the problems you have here, you will have there unless you change the way you see things. This is why I'm saying begin to change your mind even now where you are. Don't think to yourself, they'll like me when I get there. No, they won't. Because all and many other things, these countries are now seeing the situation where their own, if you like, countries, their own different institutions, they are being drained of resources. They're thinking there are many people who are coming to take what belongs to them. You see, what I'm saying here about Africa is the same thing that many European countries are saying. They're saying, no, we don't want immigrants. No, we don't want people to come and take that which we have. We don't want people to come and do this and do that here. Because they're saying we're being squeezed. But here in Africa, we are basically living in a time where I believe we must rise up. We must say no. We must understand that it is only us who can help our nation to move forward. And the way we do it is by supporting leaders that we know can actually help us move forward. Look around you. See, why do you support the leaders that you do support? Is it because they can actually help your nation? Or is it because somehow you get a little money that they give you or some food that they give you? We must make good choices when it comes to leadership. That is very, very important. And I want you just to bear this in mind. Understand this, that there is no better place than home. Do what you can. And make sure that you are investing your time and money and energy in order to build yourself here. And when you go abroad, you have some respect. You have some dignity. Make sure that you know your place here. While you are here, I want really to drive this home. Don't think that you will only experience better when you go outside here. It might be a different story. But I want you to know where you are. If you open your eyes, if you bring about your own creativity, if you begin to change the way you see things, the way you perceive things to be, I tell you, you can make a good life where you are. I'm telling you what I do know. People who have lived outside for many years, now they look back, they're thinking, do you know what? It was awesome to be here, but I must go back to my country. So I'm encouraging you to know that where you are right now, you can actually do something better that will prepare your life, that will give you what you're looking for. It's not only outside, but here you can also do it. So understand that the immigration door is being shut to Africans in Europe, wherever you may go. People don't want us anymore. But we must do something for our nation. Please give me your comments. Let me know what you think. Subscribe and share this channel and give us thumbs up. The more people we have interacting with, the better it is, the content that I bring to you next time. So please take care. Until next time. Bye-bye now.